Hi everyone, it's Jean. Jean with a messy desk. I've been working on a couple pieces for my journal. And sometimes I think it's easier when you're doing a slow stitch project to kind of do it yourself and not do it on camera, or if you're going to do it on camera, not have the voice, because it makes it kind of difficult to stitch and talk at the same time because you have to do a lot of filler. But this was the last page I showed, and then I was working on this page, and I just need to put another sequin or two. The beads just didn't work out. I was going to put the green beads, and then I thought I would try just a pearl. But they're just too big and they don't look right for me. So I'm going to finish it out with these little flower sequins. And then that one will be done. I'm going to be putting something here, but I haven't decided. Now I want to explain that this journal is, it's kind of like, it's a found journal, it's a junk journal, it's a treasure journal. It's very shabby, it's very rustic. So you're going to see things like this tea bag I made, this very rustic tag. This is just so that I know that it will go in there. This is a page that I made because I wanted something with all hearts on it. And I had this tea-dyed page of, it was an adult coloring book. And so I colored some of these pink. And I made a page with, this has some images on it. This is two things glued together here. Because sometimes when you do this kind of stitching, you have to cover it up. So I put this in, and everything is kind of bent and torn and all kinds of yumminess on that. So this is a tag, and this tag is done the same way. And if you look on the back of the tag, I used the other side of this page that had the fine crochet that I had left. So I used that, and I used a book page, and I really grunged it up, and it's torn in different places. I added an image. I stamped a couple places, and then I took some of my gelatos and put them in different locations and kind of just, with gelatos, you can add water to them and they'll run. So that's what I did so I could get a lighter red. So I haven't decided if I'm going to put something down here because she has like a little, I can't tell. I thought this was the flowers. I thought maybe it was a doll or a teddy bear. I'm not exactly sure. But I wanted to show you too on this page. you can stick this right in here because I made a pocket. So that looks nice in there because it gives it some color and it matches the red. Now, this was a double page spread, but it was starting to come apart. So I just put a tea bag over the edge to keep it together. This is a little tab with a red heart on it. And let me tell you about my red heart. So I have, and let me get it if I can. I often talk to you about treasure boxes that I have. And this is one that I've had for a very long time. And it has things in it that I've made probably years ago or have gotten years ago, and just kept adding to it. There's buttons, of course. There's all kinds of pins here. Here are some little clay pieces I made. Hinges and words and beads and just all kinds of old things. Or not necessarily, not everything is necessarily old, but I'm saying kind of like rustic. Some of these things I've had forever and a day. This I made years ago. I have beads in here and covered buttons and bracelets and jewelry pieces, seashells, thimbles. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you is I looked in this box right here and I saw that I had a bunch of little red clay hearts. So I was really excited about this. So I took the clay hearts, and they already had holes in them. When I baked them, they already had holes. And I put glossy accents on them. If you're not familiar with that, it's just a little bottle from Ranger, and it dries to a clear gloss finish when you put it on something. You can put it on paper, you can put it on, for example, I put it on this clay. You can put it on all kinds of things that you want to have a shine, and it'll put a layer of it on. Now, in this particular case, I let them dry on this lid because the glossy accents would run down the sides a little bit. So I wanted to make sure that I could pick them up then later and use them for my projects. So for this one, I put a little heart right here just so that it goes along with the theme of the red and the reddish color here. So that's the next page after this one. So this one's completely paper with the exception of some of the elements that I added to it. Now what I've been working on, this is the lady with the lamb. And what I did initially is I have this, it's the middle part of a doily. I cut off the edges evidently, or someone else did. And so I tore a piece of that and I did some slow stitching here just to adhere it. And then I made kind of like a black-eyed Susan, but it's not yellow. So, and I tried to make a stem here, but I need to go back because it wasn't quite dark enough. And then I made these as petals falling. And I left, you know, how this was shabby. I tried to stitch the back on there because the back, I needed to put a backing on it because of all the stitching. Now I do have stitching here and here, and I can cover that up by making a little pocket right here, and I may do that, but I need to do something here. So usually the easiest way to do something like that, for me anyway, is to try to find a similar color in thread and just add some things to it. Like I cut out those little flowers that were on that one piece, and if I just put that over this, that will cover it. And I think I have another one. Yes, I have another one that's a little bit longer, and I could actually put it over that. So that would take care of those two sections. And then if I wanted to put a pocket here. But I really love this tag and how shabby it is. And it's just right now with the things that are going on in my life health-wise, and my husband's health, and my mom, and you know, this is the easiest thing and the most therapeutic thing, I think, for me to do. So I want to show you what I was thinking about doing for this little piece. So this is a little piece of muslin, or I think it's heavy muslin, and it's really small, which is fine. But I had this, it was like a little runner of sorts, but it has some holes in it. So I took off the edging, and it's very shabby. Some parts have more of the fabric on it than others. But what I was thinking with this is I could add this to the sides, and then that would make it a little bit longer. I'm looking for my heavy white thread. And I don't see it. I put some of my spools away because they were rolling off my desk, and I might have put that one away. Let me see. Okay, that's all right. I have some light colored, light colored embroidery thread here, I think. Let me, So the problem I'm having, not that I want to dwell on my health issues, is that I'm sure you know, I've talked about it before. I have osteoarthritis in my knees, but I also have, well, the doctor thinks, I haven't been to the rheumatologist yet, but the doctor thinks that I have fibromyalgia, and I take medicine for the fibromyalgia, but I don't have anything to take really for the pain of the osteoarthritis. And there are parts of my legs that unfortunately are, because the knee doesn't want to work properly. Just a second. Because the knee doesn't want to work properly, then the situation you have is the... What happened to my needle now? I know it was right here. So this is my life, looking for needles and... But what I was saying about... there are other parts of my body that hurt as well, especially since I have to walk with a walker. So I have problems with my right arm, and I have some problems with my back and shoulders. So and swelling, of course, is something, because I sit here and I do things. But the great thing is that I have scheduled surgery for the 22nd of July. So hopefully, if everything goes well, I'll get this situation taken care of. I want to see which one of these I want to use. I think I want to use the ones that have a little extra on it. So that'll be nice. And I don't think I have to be in the hospital very long, because they encourage you, to get up and get with it pretty quickly. All right, that's plenty. So let me cut it right through this circle. And I'm using white thread, which is not exactly the color, but a little contrast is always pretty. So I'm going to kind of start, and I like how this curves, so I may leave it doing that. I'm going to start with it being partially off of the edge, as you can see here. That way I get some length out of that, because I want to and I usually use just like I don't know what this stitch is called. I call it a stab stitch, because I'm just going back and forth through the fabric. And actually the white's not really, it is being hidden. So I just go back and forth, and in the stabbing motion, like I'm stabbing it here, and then I'll come up the back. And the stitches don't have to be in a straight line. they can be a little bit wonky if you want them that way. And also, they can be as long as you want them to. Now, I wouldn't probably suggest, like inch-long stitches, because you just want to get it finished. The idea of slow stitching is to take your time and enjoy the process. So I was hoping you guys could see this white a little bit, but what I may do is get another color and do some slow stitching up and down the sides. It's also really nice to create a design with your slow stitching. By design, what I mean is maybe you go part of your way up and down, and then the next part you go sideways, or maybe you do a line of straight stitches, and then the next set you go you make V stitches. So you can do all kinds of things, that are just general stitches that don't require anything more than the stab and poke motion, that make it look good, and you don't have to be somebody that knows special embroidery. I would love to learn it, and I may start watching embroidery videos and doing it, but that takes time to learn. Some of them, when they're doing them, they look so easy. My friend taught herself to crochet, and she does lovely crochet, and she learned on YouTube, so it's possible. Okay, so let me look at the back of this. So, what in the world? It just hung up. So you can hardly even see the stitches in the back, and that's what I like, because then I don't have to cover the back with anything, because sometimes the way that the stitches come through will be an interesting pattern in itself on the underside. So I cut a really long piece of thread. I've been reading a lot of things, and I often talk about when you're making something, to have a story in mind of what you're making. And to me, this particular piece, I usually go for what's called the eclectic style, which means anything goes, basically, especially in your home decor. You might have Asian mixed with modern, or, vintage mixed with modern, and I'm very much the kind of person that, I mean, I do like things that match, but for me, I would rather have things that are interesting to look at rather than having something that, matches. So, if that makes sense. So when I'm thinking of the story of this particular journal, I'm thinking of someone who likes to garden or who likes plants. And I'm thinking of someone who takes time to sit maybe in her plant room or in her garden and stitch. And when you see the marks on the fabric, such as down here, maybe she got a little dirt on it from, her planting. She's kind of carefree and doesn't let those types of things bother her. Things don't have to be perfect. She loves to read. She loves animals. And I think that's where my vision came for this. I also saw a post on Facebook. I do not remember what group, but someone had taken a walk somewhere or gone on vacation, and they brought back crud. I hate when that. They brought back some things from their vacation, like pieces of wood or leaves, and they incorporated it into their art. And I thought it was so beautiful. And that's what kind of inspired me to put the tree, the piece of the branch on the front, was when I saw that post. And sometimes, I would say a lot of times for me, I may see something that I really, really like, but I don't want to do it the same. I don't want to take credit away from that person. But I also see in the mixed media and junk journal world that a lot of what we do is a version of what maybe someone else has done. Very few unique ideas out there, I think. So this is going to be sewn on, and then after I get it sewn on, I'm going to sew the other part to the other side. That way I'll have a little bit larger piece that will match the other ones that go in the journal. There is an artist, and if I can find her, I think her name is Caroline on the Hillside. And I can't. Let's see. I'm looking to see if I can find her. I watch so many things. I'm a big, I like Dr. Phil. So I watch him sometimes. And Caroline, where are you? Okay, I'll keep looking for her. Let me get this finished so I don't have you all here forever. Now what I'll have to do is find where this piece meets and stitch that as well, because I don't want that piece flopping. So it'll have to have at least 2 sets of running stitches down the side. Where's the... Oh, yes. Caroline on the Hillside is her name. And she has a journal that she works on. And I'm not sure if I can find the actual... she has one called Quick and Easy Tag to make for my junk journal transformation, and she has it as part 8. So there are several videos to it, and she's the best thing about Caroline is I love listening to her voice. She's very calm. She's very relaxed, and she's very talented as well. So if you get a chance to watch her, I think you will like her content. Which brings me to asking you all if you think there's anyone out there that would enjoy my content as a mixed media and a junk journal artist, and you would like to share my videos with them or encourage them to subscribe, I would be so delighted. I would love to have you, and we can share our talents together. So thank you so much for all of my subscribers. I really appreciate it. So as you can see with this, just adding it here, it already gave some length to the page. And then this piece here will be the other length to the page. And I love how it it ended up straightening out somewhat, but I love how it kind of curves there at the end. Very cute. So that's what I'm going to put on the other side. And then I need to decide if I'm going to just adhere. I haven't, I need to do a little bit of investigating, but if you have a fabric journal, where do you do your journaling? Do you do it all on tags, or where do you do your journaling? So I need to figure that out and then go from there, and then I will have a better idea of how I'm going to add something to these spaces. I'm thinking even just tucking like tea-dyed paper in here would be okay. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. Let me cut this off right here. So this is going to be the other piece. So we have our cover, and there will be something else here. We have our tea bag and tag. We have this. I need to make a tag or something for this. And then we have this whimsical heart, and this one with the flower and the petals, which I just love this one. And then this new one that we made. And then under here we have this cute little tag and the heart. And then this looks nice. I have to finish this. And then, of course, our final page. And I'm okay with some of it, you know, sticking out like this. So I think it kind of adds to the shabbiness of it. So I hope you guys enjoy following along. I really appreciate your support. And I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.